something on my own. He was you little nasty rat.
What happened?
You know what happened. I felt you fart. Ooh. You ain't even right, dog.
I didn't know you was gonna feel that. Come on, keep going, keep going. We on the
supposed
last
to be
one.
discussing the 7 things.
We on the last one.
Number 8. Know about these niggas' vows, okay?
Hey, you ain't gotta talk to me like that.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Erin Cross.
I'm Dante Cross.
We are the Cross Fam, and today we are going to be doing the 7 things to know before you walk down that aisle, okay? These are some of the things that Dante and I had discussed extensively in premarital counseling before we got married, and they really helped us just to figure out where we both are in these areas. And hopefully these are, if you're thinking about getting married, if you're in a relationship and you guys are at the stages where you're wedding planning or you're about to get engaged, I hope these conversations are at least happening. So number 1 is religion.
Big. That is a deal breaker.
If you are a religious person, this is number 1. For me, I grew up in a Christian household. I am a Christian. It was very important for me to find someone that had values that were likened to mine. And not just someone that's like, oh, I go to church on Easter, or I go to church sometimes. Like, I want somebody who is practicing what they preach, who is, as they say, doing the Lord's work out here. That's what I was looking for, and that was paramount for me.
Yeah, so you want someone that has the same views and values on religion as yours when it comes to dating seriously, because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to waste anyone's time. You don't want anyone wasting your time, and you want to definitely know all of these things prior to you saying I do, prior to you guys getting more serious, prior to you definitely moving in. These are conversations that you definitely should have prior to making that big step forward.
Yeah. Number 2, family planning.
Yeah. Do y'all want kids? Do both of y'all want kids? Do only one of y'all want kids? And if so, how many? He could be thinking 2. You could be thinking a whole football team. It's definitely something that need to be talked about.
For sure. And you have to also be honest when you're having this conversation. I know a lot of people, especially women, feel pressure if they don't want to have children to say that, oh, well, I'm open to it, if even though they know they're not, you know, or even men. A lot of men, some men don't want children, and they know that they're the person that they're dating does. So they just say, oh, you know, well, I'm open to it or whatever.
Well, you know, in the back of your mind, it ain't happening.
Yeah. My mom always used to say there's like the exception and then there's the rule. And yes, there are exceptions that people can get married and things change, and then maybe 2 people didn't want to have kids, and then later on the line they decide, hey, we do want to have children. Or one person was on the fence about it and they hopped off the fence and now they're all about it. That does happen, but that is not the overall, like the overwhelming amount of relationships that happens in. That is typically the exception to the rule. So I would just say, take things at face value when you're dating, when you're having these conversations. If somebody, let somebody's yes be yes and their no be no. And just be okay and willing to either accept their yes or their no and move forward or go in a different direction.
Yeah.
And outside of just the family planning aspect, as far as how many kids do you want or do you want kids, it's also how were you raised and are you trying to raise your kids the same? Okay?
Yeah. Like, do you believe in beating your kids, or are we just going to put them in the corner, have them face the wall, watch the paint dry for timeout? I mean, it's all on how you raise your, like, what I can't say it's all on, well, it's all on your beliefs. I'll say that. It's definitely on how your beliefs, how you were raised. People tend to believe sometimes that based off of how you was raised and how you turned out, based off of what your parents did for you, well, they worked. Like, I got beat all the time.
Yeah, same.
All the time. So, of course, I'm going to feel that it worked for me because of how I turned out. Whereas some people just don't feel that way. Some
Yeah.
people don't want to beat their kids. They
And
feel
it's
that you can
also-
actually talk to them.
Yeah, because you can. Once you become a parent or once you become an adult and you're entering into parenthood, you make your own decisions on how you're going to navigate your family. You don't have to do it like how your parents did it. I had excellent parents. I love my parents. I still got beat, you know what I mean? But it wasn't, that's not something that I find necessary with our son. Every child is different and every child doesn't require what you went through. And to be honest, maybe you didn't even require what you went through. It's just what you went through. So you're using it as your goalpost. And maybe it doesn't have to be.
Number 3 on our list is how the two of them deal with conflict.
Yes. How you deal with conflict is so imperative.
You had to sit up for that?
I did. I think they stubbed their toe and they ready to fight everybody in the house.
What you gonna do with that? Besides make me mad.
That's not something I'm willing to deal with.
Hey, you don't know how hard they hit their toe. What they hit their toe on?
Be quiet. How do they respond in situations where they are sad? How do they respond in situations where they're angry, where they're upset? Because just because you're angry, it doesn't give you a license to disrespect the person that you're with.
Also, as far as do they take accountability for a situation?
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, like do they take accountability when they're in the wrong? Do they have an issue with apologizing
Yeah.
and like it coming from a genuine place?
Yeah.
You know, I know for the longest, I would have to pretty much apologize to Aaron, and it wasn't that I couldn't do it, but it was like, for whatever, I used to always say my bad a lot, you know what I'm saying, like my bad, I won't do that again. And I legit meant it, like it genuinely came from a place, whereas she needed for me to say I'm sorry. And in my mind, it meant the same thing, whereas for her, the words were just totally different. They meant so much more for me to say, I'm sorry, I won't do this, I apologize for offending you, hurting your feelings in this aspect, or whatever the case may be. But you have to be able to take accountability to know that you made a mistake somewhere or you screwed up. And now that you've done that, you have to go and you have to make it right.
That was definitely a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't saying sorry, then
But keep it on the playground.
Okay, so number 4 on our list is past trauma. Past trauma that you are bringing into the relationship, any situations that you've gone through that have definitely affected you in a major way, mentally, physically, anything of that nature. It definitely needs to be discussed. They definitely deserve to know. I'll say that they definitely deserve to know what the issues are. Because they can be something that they're doing that's affecting you, and they don't even know because you haven't been vocal with them in that aspect and let them know what was going on.
you just definitely want to create and foster a space where your partner feels comfortable coming to you and being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable about their past, what they've gone through, what they've experienced, and how it affects them. Because ultimately, how it affects them will affect you.
Yeah.
So you just want to be aware of everything that you're getting into. Not so that you could like try to be Mrs. Fix-It or Mr. Fix-It, but you want to be able to just be aware so that you know how to move. And that way you can respect their boundaries and they can respect yours and where you're at. And also pay attention to how they do respect your boundaries, and if they are constantly not respecting your boundaries and they're constantly overstepping in those areas, because that is also very key, and it gives you a good idea as to how they view you and how they respect you. Number 5, relationships with family. I have a big family, lots of siblings. We were always at my parents' house on Sundays after church for dinner, watching the game, outside playing with my nieces and nephews. I've come from a super family-oriented family.
To chime in on my side, I actually come from a small family. I can count on pretty much one hand almost how many people still have the Cross last name or whatever outside of Aaron and my son. So I come from a real small family, and I think it takes balance as far as, you know, with your partner or person that you're dating coming from a big family, if they do, or whatever the case may be, and you being cool with going over there for Sunday dinners, playtime during the week or whatever, just to link up and everything. You can always do that, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a every week thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a balance of, okay, we've been over there for the last 3 Sundays, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to relax, you know, at the house this Sunday, chill after church and everything, watch a game or 2 or whatever, and just, you know, kick it just at home with me and you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be cool with that, you know, because at the same time, if that's not something that they're used to, you bringing them into this whole different environment, they're fine with, but at the same time, they just still want their space and time to relax as well.
Number 6, finances and stability.
Phew. Yeah, that's a big one. You got to know what these people doing with their money. Yeah, are they a big spender? Do they have to buy everything that comes out? Can they manage their money well? Can you do good? Can you do a lot with the little that you have?
I'm all about marrying for love. I think that it is a noble thing. However, love don't pay the bills.
Nah.
Okay?
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
Love can't put gas in your tank either.
Love can't put gas in the tank, okay?
He can make your cash strong though, because both of y'all gonna be walking on love. We walking on love. Shoot. Oh, big cafe.
I love Dante, and I grew to love Dante, like, as we were dating, as we were getting to know each other, because of his heart. I initially obviously was attracted to him because he's so fine, okay?
Cut it out.
He's
Cut it
so
out.
fine.
You just talk about why
Anyway,
I ain't a broke boy.
yeah, but it was a big deal to me when I met Dante. He owned a house. He lived by himself. He had 2 vehicles.
You got money. Have a good night.
Yeah, so it's like you were already stable.
I don't want you to think just because, like how Aaron mentioned, my vehicles were paid off.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
I had a house and everything. Not everyone's gonna start out like that, or not everyone even has that now. But as long as you have a plan and that you have some type of strategy to deal and function with the money that you do have coming in, like you definitely have to find a way to have more coming in than you do going out.
It's like you said, you don't have to have, honestly, you didn't have to have any of it. You could have had just, you had to have a car and you had to have a place to live. There was no way. No. You got to have a car, you need to have a place to live if you're dating somebody, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah.
1,000%. Because that don't even make sense. What you out here dating for? You need to have 2 jobs then if you ain't got no place to live and you ain't got no car.
Word today is job. J-O-B. You hear me? Yeah.
All right, last but not least is our number 7, and it is knowing each other's future goals.
Yes, that is pivotal. Future goals, I would say, they don't have to be anything specific. It's whatever works for you and the person that you're talking to. So our goals are going to look different than your goals.
Yeah.
Your goals are going to look different than ours and to theirs and to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what works for you. My thing is, for me, I am always working towards something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important for me, is to have somebody that is also always working towards something. Complacency is the enemy of progress. And if we are not progressing, then what are we doing?
Yeah, you definitely want to have not necessarily only goals and ambitions for your spouse, but you also want to have your own as well. And then you two can collaborate and come up with some as a couple.
So yeah, obviously there's like a million things that you'll do. Biggest thing that I could be an advocate for is premarital counseling.
Oh, okay? Hands down, 100%.
Before you
100%.
walk down the aisle,
Yeah.
get premarital counseling, they'll cover all this, y'all.
Yeah.
They'll cover all this and more. And you'll learn so much about not only your partner, but also yourself.
Yeah.
And some of the things that you didn't even know were things, or you didn't even know that was like a pet peeve of yours, or whatever the case may be. So much comes out in premarital counseling. And it will literally make or break your decision on if you choose to get married, if you don't choose to get married. So let this be the make or break. Don't let the situations arise in the marriage, and then your make or break is divorce.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody wants to deal with that. Having a nice clean break without any legalities is a lot nicer.
People done wasted their money. I done paid for a flight to come here.
You know what I'm saying?
Done bought- We gotta go get that younger. Well, you gotta go get him. It's Monday. It's your day.
It's Monday. All right, y'all. So that was the 7 things that you should know before you say I do. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have more things to add, then please chime in the comments to help our viewers that are trying to make this decision.
Definitely. And like and subscribe too, please.
That was kind of aggressive.
I felt aggressive when I said it, like my
did.
whole face. Like and subscribe, please. But that's a wrap, Jack.
We'll see y'all next video.
Good job, baby.